Okay, social media. This is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. I apologize for how I say this. I do not apologize for what I said. Alright, so check it out. This is a multilateral video. That's why I said that the way I said that. But it's mostly for my first personal page of my YouTube channel. So I don't know how many followers I have there because it's usually just like I've never ever made a video for it. So we're gonna do this one. I was watching YouTube today, and this thing came up, and it said, "Who wins, Bigfoot or Wendigo?" All right, so I'm well versed in certain folklore, more Bigfoot than Wendigo. So my question for y'all is, before I dive too deep into this, and this is mostly for actual Native Americans, the ones that the pretendians are always insulting, the ones that Trump claims he's gonna try to get away from birthright citizenship and all that bullshit. Wendigos is basically Creek and Algonquin tribal stuff, right? Where Bigfoot is generally universal to most tribes. Almost every tribe has a Bigfoot story, or a Sasquatch story, or a Yowie, or a Hairy Man story. It's pretty much universal to the planet. Wendigo is specific because Wendigo is a person who was once a man or once a woman who gave into evil and became cannibal and started eating people that they love, and that became the curse. So I know for a fact that Bigfoots travel in clans, packs, tribes, whatever you want to call them. They herds, if you want. So I don't know if Wendigos travel alone or if they travel in herds, packs, the same way Bigfoots travel. I do know that Bigfoots migrate, which is why it's pretty much every tribe has a story with Bigfoot. Most tribes have, I guess we could say, a peaceful understanding, and there are some tribes who have no peaceful understanding because Bigfoot was like not nice to them. I'm trying to do this without giving up a whole lot of information because of pretendians, but this is on all of my platforms that I can reach with this phone. So I'm gonna put my money on Bigfoot just for the fucking numbers game because I don't know enough about Wendigo and how if it moves in packs. All right, I know that Bigfoots have clans and tribes. I don't know if Wendigos have clans and tribes, which is why I think like maybe 4 nations may have Wendigo stories, where that's more northern, more northern American tribes versus lower American tribes. I don't know if any of the South American or Mexican tribes have any Wendigo stories. I know they probably do have Bigfoot stories. There are very few tribes that don't have Sasquatch or Bigfoot stories. So I put my money on Bigfoot. All right. And the main reason I'm going to put my money on Bigfoot is because of stature. And when I say stature, I don't mean height and girth. I just mean that I know more about Bigfoot than I do about Wendigo. All right. And let me explain that. Um, Depending, and I'm probably going to get some smoke for probably sharing this, which is probably something I shouldn't share, but it was folklore for me. And I do believe in this folklore. I believe that there are different tribes of Bigfoot. Some nice, some not so nice. I also believe that I ain't trying to encounter either one because I know my luck is just that bad. And what might be considered nice from one group might be considered bad for another. I also was taught that they have guardianship. I am so not wording this right, but any native from any tribe, feel free to correct me. I'm okay with correction. After all, this shit was folklore for me, and I only got it in the summertime. So it's kind of like more bedtime story versus folklore and cautionary tales. So my money is on Bigfoot. Come hell or high water, my money is completely and totally on Bigfoot, and mostly because of the size of the legend of Bigfoot versus the size of the legend of Wendigo, and mostly for me. All right. Now, if we're gonna talk about other native deities, then I would only post that on my YouTube channel versus TikTok and versus Instagram, because the Pretendians, although they're on YouTube, they ain't following me. And this personal channel would be the only one to be on. It won't be on my big channel. So that'll probably be my next video, and it'll be exclusively for my YouTube channel. But it won't be for my big channel. It'll just be, you'll have to find me. Anyway, unless Wendigos do like the game Until Dawn, not the movie, but the game, then my money is definitely on Bigfoot. Now, I want to make a slight correction. I want to make a really slight correction, because if you've seen the game or played the game Until Dawn, respectfully to the creators, I've never heard of Wendigo being blind. I mean, maybe they changed it for video game purposes, but from what little bit I've learned about Wendigo, Swift Runner wasn't blind. He also didn't turn into a disfigured automaton. Now, other Wendigo stories, the Wendigo is not blind, but he does turn into a disfigured automaton. So, if you're going with the Until Dawn Wendigos, Bigfoot's gonna mop the floor with them. If you're going into other tribal legends of Wendigo, where either he turns into an automaton who's not blind, who's skinny and scrawny, and sometimes stands on 4 legs and sometimes stands on 2, there's a lot of different stories of Wendigo. The one consistent with Bigfoot is that you never catch him on all fours. You always catch him standing up between 8 and 12 feet tall. So the Wendigo has a height between 8 and 12 feet tall as well. And I don't know much more about dogmen, but I do know that Wendigos are vicious fighters, and I know that Bigfoots can be vicious fighters. I'm going to go with Bigfoot because if legend is right, now, mind you, tribal legends change tribally, but if legends is right, Wendigo started off as a human. Bigfoot has always been Bigfoot. And that is why my money is on Bigfoot. Hopefully that explains a lot. If you're seeing this on any of my social medias, the only person that can tell you the actual stuff are natives, full-bloods, and their elders. All right? So they will correct me. And I have no problem with correcting. But I do know for a fact that most tribes do have more Bigfoot stories than Wendigo stories. Wendigo are more First Nations, and I want to say Creek and Ojibwa. Now, if you're a Creek and Ojibwa, you can feel free to correct me, but that's where I learned it through cultural exchange, that their folklore was more Creek and Ojibwa that involves Wendigo. Where I don't want to talk about other ones, because if this goes on TikTok, it will fuel Pretendians who have no idea what native folklore is. But I will make a specific video after this for my YouTube channel only. So thank you guys for watching this YouTube channel.